In a Facebook Q&A, Hillary Clinton recently spoke out about what she would do to end systemic racism and more specifically, police brutality against African Americans. Wesley Lowery, who is actually a journalist, asked the question. He says, "You chose not to speak at Netroots Nation this weekend. Two of your Democratic primary rivals did. Both were interrupted by Black Lives Matter protesters who asked, as the leader of this nation, will you advance a racial justice agenda that will dismantle, not reform, not make progress, but will begin to dismantle racism, structural racism in the United States? How would you have answered?" And this was her answer. She says, "Black Lives Matter. Everyone in this country should stand firmly behind that. We need to acknowledge some hard truths about race and justice in this country. And one of those hard truths is that racial inequality is not merely a symptom of economic inequality. Black people across America will experience racism every day. Since this campaign started, I've been talking about the work we must do to address the systemic inequalities that persist in education and economic opportunity in our justice system. But we have to do more than talk. We have to take action. For example, we should make sure every police department in the U.S. has body cameras. We should provide alternatives to incarceration for low-level offenders. We should invest in early childhood education for every child. We should fight for voting rights and universal voter registration. You will continue to hear me talking about these issues throughout this campaign and pushing for real solutions." Now, overall, I think that this is a good answer. She proposed some really specific policies, but I would have taken it a step further. So I would have added that there will be mandatory annual sensitivity training for every single police district. There will be a no tolerance policy because the police officer who arrested Sandra Bland actually had a history of racism, and the individual who's investigating the case also had a problem with race issues in the past. So I would say that I would have implemented a no tolerance policy. You got a history with racism, you can't get hired as a police officer. Now, I would also would have advocated more stringent psychological screening for police officers to ensure that they don't hold any racist views. So now I would have also specifically stated Sandra's name to really show that she's paying attention, because what was the main chant of the Black Lives Matter protesters at the Netroots Nation conference? They were saying to say her name. They want you to say her name. They don't want you to beat around the bush. But overall, this is really great, and I'm glad that Hillary Clinton is also trying to speak on behalf of the Black Lives Matter movement. Look, I disagree with Hillary Clinton on a plethora of issues. I mean, I disagree with her wholeheartedly on most foreign policy positions. I disagree with her on economic policy. I disagree with her on quite a bit. But look, anyone who's willing to take up the Black Lives Matter cause is all right in my book. Now, here's the hard truth, though, that I've got to get to. From a political perspective, overall, her policies will do less for African Americans than Bernie Sanders' policies will. I mean, Bernie Sanders is endorsing things such as the $15 minimum wage, such as universal health care, such as getting money out of politics, youth unemployment, tuition-free college. All of these are really important policies that will significantly benefit non-white communities. Now, I would like Hillary Clinton to really be a strong advocate with respect to economic inequality that does disproportionately impact the Hispanic community, the African American community in the U.S. Now, again, Bernie Sanders is still going to be the better candidate when it comes to non-white issues, when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, because he's also advocated for demilitarization of the police. He wants real criminal justice reform. So here's the deal. Bottom line is that this is a fantastic answer. I like that Hillary Clinton is taking up the Black Lives Matter cause. I would have liked to see her speak at the Netroots Nation conference because, I mean, if you're going to support this community, then you should be there. I mean, this is a conference that's tailored to minority voters. So I would have loved to actually see her be there. But again, I'll accept this. Anyone who's going to speak out on behalf of Black Lives Matter, they're doing a good thing. It's not just the politically good thing to do, because if you want to win the Democratic primaries, you've got to get the Black Lives Matter voters, because if you get them, you could potentially persuade a lot of other African-American voters. But this is the right thing to do. This is something that's morally just, and this is something that should be done. And I'm glad that Hillary Clinton did it, and I applaud her for it.